Hi, folks. This is my retrospective at Space Gallery. It'll be up through the 27th. And I have some people to thank. My mom and dad, obviously, because they brought me here. Mary Wright at Xochitl Peely Gallery, who represented me for 25 years until I came to New Zealand. And she just closed up shop for some unknown reason. She's probably tired by that time. And then to Sarah Williams for putting up a really, really nice show and allowing me to somehow reduce my life's input to these images. And this is, let's see if we do it this way, yep, this is the opening images that are outside, which is a fairly large painting. And then this is one of my flower images. This is quite a recent one. I did this one about last week. So now we'll go back to the beginning. And this is a piece I did in graduate school about the Vietnam War, which of course was ever present at that time. It's a stone litho. It's quite large. It's about half a meter by 2/3 of a meter maybe. And we've got a self-portrait from when I taught at Hartwick College. And there's a quadrant, no, that wasn't Hartwick College. I think that's Pomona College, sorry. Hartwick College is a 4-layer plate litho self-portrait. Used to do self-portraits every day, almost every day, when I lived in Oneonta. There's a photo of Talio, and the folks who did the New York City trips with me will know that one, because those are all images from New York, which may even be familiar. Did some self-portraits. Used to do self-portraits about once a day. This is Millerton, which was a wonderful photo place. I don't know if it still exists in upstate New York. Did a course there on teaching with Paul Stewart. This is a beautiful little sparrow who flew into my studio in Oneonta, and so I reincarnated him against a picture of Arkansas. Don't ask why. It's a four color separation again. This is a fairly large cyanotype from the Saturday Night Live series. This one is Trouble Was Where You Find It. This is, trying to see which places this is. This is Florida, yeah. So it's got Florida postcards on it, and it's a cyanotype with drawing and things like that. Couple pieces from my tinting series when I was looking at neighborhood landmarks. This is No More Hiroshimas. This is in Ukiah, California. This one is Diablo Canyon, one of the early nuclear places in Northern California that everyone loved to hate. Here's a piece that's representative of my installations, and that's my first kimono, which I got when I was a baby, well, young child. From my uncle who was stationed in Japan after the war. And it's a piece that I did to document my father's tools after he died. That's the only piece in the show that's not for sale. Here's a couple of images from my sabbatical from Pomona College when I went to Japan for I think 7 weeks. And they were Cibrochromes. Of course, the Cibrochromes can't be replicated now because the media doesn't exist. This large painting, I'm backing up so we get the whole thing. It's about 1.5 meters by a meter, and it involves kimono stencils, which is one of the things that I like to integrate into my paintings more recently. I don't have any of my older paintings up because they take up a lot of space, and they didn't fit in the gallery. That painting, by the way, we've got a little group sign here somewhere. That's 2005. This is a drawing from 1997, shortly after I came to New Zealand, acrylic on paper, and it's about the Marburg virus. Ironically, I've started another virus series, which I'm sure everybody will be able to empathize with. This one is about dengue fever. Trying to do somewhat of what I used to do with my series in other countries to try to make them more approachable, only doing it with the virus. I'm not sure why that's the case. Upper is a gold tone gelatin silver print from a 2 1/4 negative at Pompeii, and this is an image of Diana, also from Pompeii, referencing, of course, the camera that most of us loved to use in the 60s and the 70s. I've got a few little images, and they don't tend to look. There we go. Kind of get them. These are self-portraits that I did last year, and instead of myself, I have everything that's around me. So it's my household goods, and they're meant to mimic early colored daguerreotypes in their quality, which is difficult to tell on a projected image like this, but there they are. There's a chrysanthemum from the Kyoto Botanical Gardens. That's relatively recent compared to this one, which is from 1980, from the LA County Fair, and this is hand tinted, as is this one from 2020, which is Neighborhood Landmark Series in Whanganui, and this was a photographic realtor. Sadly, this image is no longer with her, with Mia, no longer with us because they've taken out the building, I think. This piece is part of, sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy. This is part of a 4-part painting series, which involves a kimono that's been slightly altered, and acrylic painting with various types of additions. And this series is 4 parts, actually. There's a silver one, a blue one, a green one, and this is the red one. And this is about 6th and 9th of August of 1945, when I was in the womb and the bombs dropped on Japan. So it's been part of my life all my life. This phone is part of a series of objects that I've been working on in an attempt to sort of simplify my life and get rid of a lot of clutter. But what has actually happened is that I've felt even closer to these objects now that I've dealt with them photographically, so it's sort of backfired a bit. This is very similar to the phone that was in our basement on Prospect Street in Flint in the 50s and 40s. This is a lovely New Zealand style toaster. Quite a lovely, they're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous objects. This is a child's sewing machine. It's larger than life in this particular exhibit. This is a piece that started my flower series, which I started when my mother died, and have been continuing. And the last piece is a sequential bit of documentation that I often do while I'm painting to preserve some of the states that sort of disappear as I go through the layers. So basically, you've just been to my exhibit. So for those of you in New York and California and other parts of the States, thanks for coming. It was nice to have you here. I'll try to upgrade my website sometime in the next year because it's sorely in lack of historical upgrading. And that's the lot. Take care.